Hello, welcome back. My name is Benjamin Piper, also goes by Golden Bacon. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with Thomas Cashman, actually a cousin of mine, who I believe is from Philadelphia. He's more of an independent creator. He kind of still working out some ropes, trying to find that community. But today I'm here to ask him some questions, what it's like to create music as an independent creator, and just kind of how he goes about that. Thomas, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, so I mean, uh, for me, as an independent creator, I started way back, and it is kind of hard to find like, especially for the type of music I make. Like, I make a lot of experimental stuff, so it is kind of hard to like promote that and brand that because it's not like the most like popular genre. Like they're not playing like experimental music on radios. So it's kind of hard to make a living off of it. Like most of my favorite artists had like second jobs trying to, provide, what they want to do, but also make sure they have money while they're doing it. And but I love it so much that I'm doing it for the art. Like I'm not doing it for money, and I would like money. I would like to get to a point where I can make a living from this and it could become like a job. But
Yeah.
as of now, like, I'm literally like getting my foot into it,
Okay.
trying
That's
to,
good.
promote more and get myself out there more. But it is harder.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, look at Queen. I mean, Freddie Mercury used to work at the airport in London. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where he started
You
in the
know, my
70s.
favorite one of my favorite artists, JPEG Mafia, it took him 15 years to like get where he is now.
Yeah.
And I saw a video of him performing at like a bowling alley like a year before his music blew up. So that to me is like, it takes time. If it's gonna take 20 years, it's gonna
Hmm.
take 20 years, but
Yeah.
I'm patient. So yeah.
Nice. That's good. Well, my first question for you, you kind of answered it a little bit. How would you
Yeah.
describe your music to anyone who hasn't heard it before, or what genre are you trying to shoot for?
Well, I like to say first, I go by Purple Underground. That's my stage name.
Hmm.
Uh, but I make like experimental music, but also a lot of hip hop stuff. I really say I'm a hip hop experimental artist, but I don't rap. Personally, I'm not a rapper. I just make the beats. But I also do ambient music, alternative music, and I like all types of music. Like I really like R&B too, so I try to incorporate that. But yeah, I really I just make weird shit and I put it out there. So
See what
yeah,
works.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
for
do.
sure. I mean, that's the way to do it. Uh,
Yeah.
so, how did you like get your start in music? What made you want to make music in the first place?
I will say, when I was younger, I was collecting albums at like 9 years old, and I would go to record stores, and I was like the youngest kid there, and all that stuff. And I think what made me want to be a musician and all that stuff was probably the Beatles. I was big into the Beatles. I still am, and I was like, oh, I want to make music so bad. So I started making it, and my favorite artist is Prince, and I think Prince is like the artist that made me like want to pursue it. I think the Beatles made me want to start, and then the Prince made me pursue it. And I was making music all the time, but I wasn't recording it. I was just making it for fun. And then I was like, you know what? I should like record this and put it out there. Yeah. So
Crazy idea, I know.
yeah, I know.
But you're already doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually, you want to know how I got this start, how this whole thing started was because of something like that. I was already having these conversations with multiple different artists. I would accidentally run into them. I would join their community. I would talk to the people, talk to them even sometimes. I'm like, what am I doing? I should be recording this, putting it into a documentary, putting it on YouTube, and see where it goes.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So yeah. Nope. I don't know if you have anything more to add.
no, that's pretty much, man. Like I love music so much. Like
Yeah.
I make music every day, and yeah, as I said, like I've been doing it since 2016, but I don't think I took it seriously until like 2018. But It's a long
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. So for you personally, like what is the process like for you to make one of your songs? What do you start off with?
um, well, it depends on what song I'm doing. Like if I'm just doing a
Yeah.
song that has zero samples, because I sample a lot. If I'm doing a song that has zero samples, I start with the drums. I find a drum loop that works best because I can't really play drums. I did play the drum pad on some of my tracks, but that was really it. But I would just find a drum loop and then I just kind of like come up with like a bass line and then I just kept adding things, keep adding things. And then once I add a lot, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna structure this into like a song? And even with sampling, it's kind of the same thing. Like I find a sample and I keep adding to it, and then I structure it at the end. And I take a couple of days to sit with it and see like is it good, is it whatever, because you can make something really good one day and the next day you're like this is bad. What was I thinking? You know? So um yeah, that's just kind of the whole process. I'm a lot more patient with my music now. Like I used to just make songs like this, but now
Yeah.
I take a lot of time to work on them, you know.
Yeah. And I'm kind of the same way. When I first started YouTube, man, I was just throwing random stuff together. I was going left, right, and center, just throwing memes and stuff like that. And it did work. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, okay, I'm more inspired by like people that make long documentaries of like sometimes it's musicians, sometimes it's different events.
Mm.
But like what I want to do is like actually spend a lot of time knowing, okay, what did this band do? Where did they start? And then putting it into a script and then telling it as a story.
Yeah, I love those
You know?
videos. I watch a lot of music documentaries too.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what the goal is for me at least, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So for I guess my next question, what is your inspiration for making one of your songs? What do you want it to sound like? What is the goal?
Um, it kind of depends, I guess, on the track. Like if we're talking about this new album I put out, which was a soundtrack from my friend's film, I really wanted it to sound like, you know, something for his film. Like his film was very experimental, so I was trying to think of something that was kind of like dark, kind of like David Lynch type music, you know, like
Okay.
Twin Peaks, where it's just like keyboards and stuff like that. That's what I was going for, but I guess it depends on the song, like what I want it to be. Sometimes I try to do something that's like different and I try to succeed in that where maybe I'll sample SpongeBob and like make it dark and like depressing or something. And I sometimes I just want to take the unthinkable and make it like amazing and a piece of art because it's possible. You can do that, you know. Like I've sampled SpongeBob, I've sampled so many people. It's crazy. Like if you look into my back catalog, it's like I try to do it, you know.
Yeah. Now, I'm not as good as making music as maybe you or someone else is. I mean, I've tried, but man, I would use like the most random samples possible. Like you said,
Mm.
SpongeBob, I would try to like put, gosh, what it would be like a mixture of so many different things. And not just that, I would put like lyrics. I would purposely take lyrics out of other songs and put it with different songs.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too.
Mhm.
Like there's a thing where I do because I don't write songs, like I'm not a songwriter,
Okay.
but I try to use the samples as a way of songwriting. Like if I'm feeling sad, I'll sample a song that says I'm sad and I'll just make a beat out of that.
Yeah, it's like a reference.
Yeah, it's kind of me like, you know, using the sample as a songwriting thing, like get a point across, you
Yeah.
know, because I can't really sing or anything. So yeah.
That's all right. So, so so I know you've been doing music for a very long time. So
Mm.
how has your music has evolved over time?
Oh yeah. A lot. Dude, you know, I started off back in 2016 when I was like 11 years old. Hopefully no one finds any of this on the internet.
I will.
Uh, I was I was playing the bass and I would grab my mom's phone and just put the phone up to the amp and just like play
Yep.
and stuff.
Yep.
And
That
then and then I was making like weird music where I would just like say like random stuff and make weird noises. Cause I was like into like Frank Zappa and like all that weird stuff. And I would just make like weird stuff with random people where we're just like saying like Mickey Mouse or I don't know, some random weird. That's like what? And then I got into like hip hop when I was in sixth grade and I really wanted to be like Common and like Mos Def and stuff. And
damn.
I had my name as Question, and I was a rapper back in middle school. And anyone who's like I don't know, like an OG follower of mine, they know about the whole lore of like the Dead Presidents. I was in a hip hop group called the Dead Presidents, and I was making rap music, and we
Wow.
had tons of music out, like tons. I went from playing bass to like rapping with a group, and the group broke up, and I was like, well, I want to start over. So I changed my name to
Yeah,
Purple Ground, and I, started making beats, and it's been like that since 2020.
for
So
sure. Actually,
yeah.
that's a good follow-up question. So you were in a previous band. So
Mhm.
yeah, would you want to go into a different band? Do you want to collaborate with anyone?
Yes, I love being in bands. I'm actually collaborating with a friend whose new album EP is gonna be out soon. Tammy, that's his name, and we were just working on it this morning.
Hmm.
And I love collaborating with people. I tried doing other bands with other people, but it haven't really worked out. If I have like a
Yeah.
second channel, and there's like a clip of me playing with a band that I was in for like a month. But I will say the Dead Presidents was probably the most like successful I had being in a band because it lasted for a couple years and we made tons of music. Granted, a lot of it was really bad, but we were in middle school, so what
So
can you say? You know,
it's somewhere. It's somewhere to start for sure. I mean,
yeah,
middle school, gosh.
we got bullied hard. Like I would walk in the hallway and someone would be like freestyle, and I'm like, no, like
It's
it
not how
was
that
so
works.
bad. I know.
You're
I like
not
stopped rapping.
Eminem. You're not-
I know. Like I stopped rapping because like I just got because a lot of people wonder like why I stopped because I was like big into it and then I just started making beats from there on. It's because like I just it wasn't really something I was interested in anymore. And also I got like criticized for like every day and I don't listen to the haters. If
Yeah.
that was the case, I wouldn't be making
Gosh,
music.
I put out the most garbage stuff. No, my first documentary that you can find on this YouTube channel, The Caravan Palace, if you watch that, it is the most abysmal video in the whole world. The audio is off, everything's off, but
Yeah.
the band didn't care anyways, and they watched it anyways, and they thought it was great.
Yeah, and that's what matters. Like even like because like if you're very passionate about something, like you could tell the level of like knowledge or whatever, like the
Hmm.
respect that you have. It can shine through even through your first
Yeah.
projects, especially with mine. I
Yeah.
was listening to some of my old works, and I'm like, this is terrible, but I hear the potential. Like I hear the potential.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah.
So, as someone who's like obsessed with music as much as you are, so my genre
Mm.
changes frequently. Like every
Yeah,
other day, I'm listening to something random.
yeah.
Do you think the music that you make could be infected by that as well? Or do you just gonna stick with hip hop?
No, it has like my last two albums were not hip hop albums at all. That like Live at Toys R Us was a alternative album. I mean, it's always experimental. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna
Hmm.
lose that touch about my music. But I mean, even the last one was like movie soundtrack. So as I said, like I like all types of music, so all that shines through. But I think at the end of the day, like I think I'm always gonna have like a hit of like hip hop in whatever I do because I just love hip hop so much. So
Yeah. I asked that question because like every other day I'd be like, okay, I'm watching The Great Gatsby, so we're at swing music, and then we're at electro swing, and then for some reason we're at bluegrass, and then we're at okay, now we're listening to the Beatles. Okay, now we're
yeah,
at Queen. Okay, and then now we're back to 2010s. It's literally every day I'm always into something completely wild.
same here. Like I'd be listening to the band Yes, and then
Yeah.
sometimes I listen to Janae. or
Hmm.
I'll listen to like Billy Woods. Like it just those are like three opposite artists.
Yeah.
I just as I said, like my playlist is crazy. Like it's like all over the place.
Oh gosh, you don't want to see my playlist. You don't want to
I'm
see my
yeah,
playlist. Sometimes it's a soundtrack to a show, sometimes it's a soundtrack to a movie, and then all of a sudden you got Billie Eilish.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
what?
I mean, hey,
How did that
I
happen?
I feel like that like is awesome because like you want to be diverse in like music, like know so much and listen to so
Oh
much
yeah.
stuff. I feel like if you stay in one box, it's just boring, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, discovering a whole new genre is just so exciting
Mhm,
because it hits so much differently than something else.
mhm,
And well, I there's like two that I'm really bad at. Hip
mhm.
hop I've gotten into, but like modern rap, um yeah, I can't do it. And then a
Yeah,
modern country. Classic country is really good, and I think bluegrass is just the better version of country.
yeah. I never got into country. That's
No,
probably
me
like
neither.
yeah. I
I
have a
mean, like
friend.
here's a song there here and there, and I'm like, okay. But like
Yeah, I like Johnny Cash though. He's good. He's
yeah,
fire.
well that's the classic. And then there's like Southern Nights, and there's a couple other country songs out there. Even some independent artists that are no longer around, unfortunately, that I absolutely adored.
Mhm.
But that's another thing I love to find is just the absolute nobodies in the world. I love finding the underdogs and then just
Yeah,
watching them blow up overnight.
yeah. That's the best. I love seeing that too.
Hmm. I
Go
mean,
on
gosh,
Bandcamp, you see a lot
was
of stuff. I said you go on Bandcamp, you'll see a lot of crazy stuff, like art wise.
yeah.
That's the place to be. You know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's crazy what you can find. And yeah, I just love talking to people about that for sure. I
Mhm.
mean, gosh, I mean, I remember finding, Ginger Roots when they were small-ish area,
Yeah.
and then Loretta came out, 13 million views.
Mhm. Yeah,
Just
that's
like
crazy.
that.
You put me on to Ginger Root. I remember when I first
Hmm.
met you, you were like, yeah, check them out. It's like, yeah,
October 10th, seeing them. They
yeah.
just
Oh,
interviewed David.
I saw
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm seeing Stevie Wonder next week. So I
Oh,
might end up that,
that
yeah.
should be fun.
Talk about concerts,
Maybe
yeah.
we can get him on here.
Oh, that'll be that'll be
So
awesome.
that's
Yeah.
kind of the goal of this channel. I honestly just want to find like all like the smaller bands, and then as the like this channel just keeps going and going, and then people go like, "Oh, this guy is like an actual like for real."
Yeah.
He's not like nobody. He's actually interviewing a crap ton of bands
Mhm.
and doing it for real. And then they're like, we'll give him a shot. We'll put him on here.
Yeah, that's how you start. You start with like interviewing like local, independent artists and then you
Yeah,
build. Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure. Yeah. Oh, so actually speaking of all these songs, what is your favorite song?
That's so hard, dude. I don't I have a favorite album. I don't know if you want that
Okay.
answer. But It's
Uh,
it's between like three albums. It
okay.
changes every like month, but I say the White Album by the Beatles,
Yeah.
1999 by Prince, and I say like Outkast, AT Aliens.
Okay.
You know, between those three, yeah,
Those are very solid albums. I love the Beatles and stuff like that. So I've listened to
yeah.
eventually the White Album for sure.
Oh my God, the White Album is a masterpiece. Like
Yeah,
I think
they
it's
were
the great.
cooking
Yeah, Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder is also on my favorite album list. I have a lot of favorite albums.
for
It's a lot
sure.
to go through, but yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of which, what is your favorite artist then? Moving on.
Prince.
Prince?
Prince is my favorite
Yeah.
artist. You could tell like Purple Underground. It's a reference.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
He's my biggest like inspiration. Like every album I make, is like somewhat inspired by Prince. And I think he was the greatest musician to ever do it. I mean, he could play every instrument. His first album that came out in 1978, he produced it, mixed it, wrote every song, played every instrument. He did everything, and he was 18 years old. Like to me,
Damn.
like who else does that? Like he is the goat. Like, and his discography is insane. I mean, he has like 39 albums. A lot of them are awesome. And I think to me, he's an artist that like he's just a total badass. Like he's just like he's the bar. Like he's like someone I try to be, like he sets
You're
the
gonna be
goal.
the next prince.
There's only one prince. There's only one prince,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I would like to like carry his legacy on through my music, like through the
Yeah, for
influence.
sure.
Obviously, like I want to be the next Purple Underground, but I do
Mhm.
want to always pay homage to Prince because I want to be here if it wasn't for Prince. Like I want to be making music. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So, actually, speaking of your music, I know you made music videos in the past. Would you
yeah.
be interested in making another one? And if so, like, how would that go? Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. Yeah. Well, if I make another video, it's gonna be with the same guy, my friend Vincent Janda, who
Okay.
I made the soundtrack for, one of his films. I wish I can pronounce the film. I can't. I was trying to use Google Translate, and I forget how to pronounce it.
No, it's
But
okay.
yeah. So I would want him to direct the next video like he did for the last two, and I want to do something totally different. Maybe shoot like a video like in the woods or something,
Hmm.
or use like a camera that's like I don't know, like that's old. Make it kind of like different in a way. I don't want to do because I know my last two videos had a theme. That theme is done. That's over. I want to move on to the next thing, and
Hmm.
I think maybe I don't know if I want to do storylines. I feel like that would be kind of
Hmm.
awkward. I don't know how to make storylines. I'm not a screenwriter, but maybe if I put my
Yeah.
soul into it. But I'll just figure out like a video concepts. I kind of want to do like a concert video, like
That'd be
maybe
cool.
yeah, kind of DJ.
Perform live.
Yeah, perform live.
Have
I
you
always
ever performed
do it
live before?
at like schools. Yeah, I
Okay.
was in marching
At
bands.
least.
I mean, if academically, yes. Yeah. I mean, I like performing, but if it's just me on stage, I do get kind of like if I'm
Oh
with someone
yeah,
else, it's
for
different.
sure.
But I would like to get to a point where I perform these tracks live, like maybe at some club or something. Like I would like to get to
Hmm.
that point.
DJing, stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah, because some of these tracks will sound awesome live, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I asked the music video question because I notice a pattern when it comes to musicians, and that's whenever they make a great song,
mhm.
usually it does much, 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 much better if they have a great music video to pair with it. Like we're
Yes.
talking mainly it focused with storyline. Now it doesn't
Mhm.
have to go crazy here. Like, well, Ginger, like literally his entire shtick is having an entire storyline from like literally the beginning of the album to the end, and you
Mhm.
can watch it, the whole thing. It's like a movie.
Mhm.
But you could do something like Caravan Palace where they just have something either nonsensical, so it's not paired at all with the what's actually happening within the thing, which
Mhm.
is a theme. But you could also have it as well as with whatever your message is for that song.
Yeah. Here's the thing, a lot of my videos are up for like interpretation, like
Yeah.
a lot of them are weird on purpose because I kind of want the viewer to make sense of like what does this mean? What is he doing? What's that?
Mhm.
That's why if I do a story, it would just be like nonsensical. Like it would just be weird. It would just be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I mean,
I could see
I
that
think,
working though. I could
yeah,
see that working.
yeah. Like
I'll
as I
probably shoot
said,
you some ideas later. I'll
yeah, yeah.
run
No,
through it.
I'm done. As I
But
said,
yeah,
sorry.
sorry. I cut you off.
No, you're good. As I said, like I make the music, like I do think of the videos, but obviously like I don't have like recording equipment to like achieve maybe the video I have in my mind. But
Mhm.
I try to make what's best with what I have, and I don't know. I guess I could possibly do a storyline. I don't know. I never really thought of that because a lot of music videos I like are just like, let's say like if it's rappers, they're just rapping to the screen, and like
Yeah. No.
like they
Yeah.
don't really have storylines. But for me, I'm a producer, so it's kind of like, well, Daft Punk had kind of storylines in their videos, and the
Mhm.
Avalanches too, and Chemical Brothers. So maybe if I follow, that footstep. I don't know. It could be
Well,
cool.
it might work out.
Yeah, it might.
Um, for my next question, have you ever reached out to any like promoters or like advertisers over the years or just anyone in general?
No, I haven't. I literally like I try to promote and do all that stuff on my own, but I really don't know much about that stuff. And that's why I feel like that's a
Mhm.
good idea. Because I know a lot of people promote on TikTok and stuff, and I'm not on TikTok, so I
Yeah.
I don't want to go on there. I
I don't
never
like
been on that
TikTok
train.
either. You won't find me on there. Anyone watching
Yeah,
this, you won't find me.
yeah. I know. Yeah,
Same
I
thing
do.
with Twitter. I don't even like Twitter. I don't know how to
Yeah,
use it. God, I
yeah,
learned how to use Instagram like 3 years ago.
yeah. I do like Instagram though. I do use that a lot, but
Mm.
I should be reaching out. I haven't done that so far. It's just like my music is so weird. It's like, how are they gonna promote it? Like this guy makes weird music. Check it out. Like, I don't know.
Well, when I think of you, when I listen to your music, actually, I like a lot of parts of it because it sounds like background music, like one of those documentary videos that where it gets like really, really serious. I feel
Yeah.
like that's like perfect. That's
Mhm.
exactly where it should be.
Yeah, especially on the new record. Like that was like intended for that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. When I was listening to that, I was like, man, if I could put this like here and here in like a documentary, not for music, because if I'm doing a music documentary, I have to, use the music
Yeah.
where I will get copyright to death. Um, but like, have you seen Summoning Salt before?
No.
It's like a speedrunner, but he basically like took someone's music. It sounds very similar to yours, but
Mm.
put it over speedrunning videos. And
Ah,
it
okay.
just like perfectly matched what like the atmosphere was bringing.
Mm.
So, and it jumpstart that entire genre of music like
Oh wow. I
overnight.
didn't know that.
I'll
Yeah.
send you a link. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about the second you click on the video.
Mm.
You can instantly hear the music.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, what is your end goal when it comes to your music career? Where do you want to be in the future?
Um, well, I want to be obviously like making albums and making money off of them, but I also want to play a role in just like music production in general, where I just collaborate with a lot of artists and um, you know, I want to collaborate with a lot of like up and coming people, like independent local people. Um, what I want in the future to work with like well known people, yeah, but I think my goal is just really just find, you know, talent that's like up and coming and then just like make the best music with whoever that person is. But yeah, I just want to be like, as I said, working in studios, with many people, try to make the best music possible, but also make a living on my own music as well. I would like to do both, because I feel like, the stuff I make too, I would like as much people to hear it as well as, the people that I'm working with as well, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Academically, I don't know what grade you're in,
mm.
but are you like in film school or anything like that, or
uh, no, I actually took a year. I'm taking a year off right now because
Fair.
there's a arts music schools are expensive. They are really
Yeah,
expensive.
and
And
sometimes they don't work out.
yeah, and I'm really like into the stuff I'm into, and I'm just making sure like if I'm gonna do it, I want to do it like I guess smart in a way. There was a whole situation where I was gonna go to like University of the Arts in Philly,
Hmm.
and then that shut down like a week before my graduation this year.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So then I went to another school. I'm not gonna name the school, but I went to that school and it wasn't working out. I was there for like a couple weeks, and the people I was there with were nice, but I don't know. I just felt like I wasn't really being inspired or wanted to work harder on my craft and
Yeah.
learning. So I chose to left and kind of take a kind of a year off and maybe find like a trade or whatever to start. Because obviously, like I want to learn more about what I'm doing,
Hmm.
but there isn't a lot of schools that provide that per se. Like I
Well, I
make.
was thinking like in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. I'm like,
Mhm.
there's not a whole lot of arts. I mean, maybe towards, New Jersey, New York area, maybe got something more, but
Mhm.
I
It's
mean,
really limited, and
yeah, it's not
it's sad.
like LA or anything.
Yeah, it's really a shame because like people like me who want to make a career out of like doing stuff that's left field and avant-garde and stuff like that. It's hard to find schools that really match those needs,
Hmm.
like yes, I'm a hip hop artist, but like I'm not a traditional hip hop artist. Like I don't make Travis Scott type of music or like the beats I make are just like weird beats. Like what the heck is this? Turn this off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a lot of people that's would be their reaction. But
Hmm.
so there isn't like a lot of programs for that. And that's why I feel like when it comes to universities, they don't really know what to do with that. Because when I was at a university, they just were kind of like, do whatever you want. Like, we don't really know what you guys want to do. And I'm like, what? Why do you have this program then? Like,
I'm paying you $10,000 for you to tell me whatever I want to
yeah.
do. I could just
Like,
do it for free.
yeah, exactly. Like literally the first day of class, the professor was like, do you guys have any like notes what we should be doing or blah blah? I'm like, you're the professor. What do you mean? Like, that's crazy. So I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. And I don't know how am I gonna, as I said, start. Maybe I'll do a trade.
Hmm.
I'd like to get internships at studios, but as I said, I'm figuring it out right now. I'm working on
Yeah.
my next album, which I know I just dropped an album just now, but I'm working on the next one, which is going to be phenomenal. Just letting everyone know. So keep your
Yeah.
ears ready to hear
Yeah,
it.
for
So,
sure. I mean, speaking of people that don't know what they want to do, technically, I'm supposed to be a financial advisor right now, and here I am interviewing a bunch of random artists.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like
This is
it's
like plan like E right now. I don't even like I'm just shooting stuff at the board and just seeing what sticks at this point.
yeah. I wanted to be a rapper in middle school. Now look at me. I'm not. I don't do that anymore.
But
So
yeah, composer is very important though because you can't really make a song if you don't have a beat
yeah.
in the first place.
And here's the thing, you can't name any hip hop producers that went to college. You can't name any because most of them didn't. Like
I,
Pharrell dropped out of college, like
I is DJ Khaled to produce? Yeah, he is,
DJ
right?
Khaled.
Yeah.
He's more of like a he kind of brings I was watching
I
way
we
back.
don't know what he is. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's go
I actually
fishing.
saw him. I saw him at what was it? I was at a Jay-Z and Beyonce concert years ago, and he opened up and all he did was just walk around shouting over song.
Hey,
Yeah,
bring
it's
out the
crazy.
cappuccino.
Yeah.
Let's
He,
go
he has
golfing.
Yeah, he had like videos of his son on the screen. Like I remember that. His son was on like every
Oh
album
my
cover.
gosh.
Yeah.
That man is a mystery.
Hey, I saw him live, unfortunately. So
That man is like that man is basically what I would do if I was as successful as him. I would like just screw with the audience. I
yeah.
would just be
Yeah.
saying the most darnest things.
I mean,
I'll be
hey,
having a good time.
if he has a career of just saying we the best. So
We the best. No, seriously, that's it.
I
He
know.
has hundreds of millions of dollars just by saying we the best in the beginning.
It's crazy. I
Yeah,
don't
bro literally just rolled a 20 on real life.
yeah, he did. He did for sure.
So, actually, if you could collaborate with any artist right now, who would it be?
Uh
Just
uh
contract right now, just 100%.
you know what? I would love to collaborate one day with Kendrick. I feel like Kendrick and I would
Kendrick?
make heat. Yeah. Also, I really want to collaborate with like rappers like Mike, Pink Sifu, Billy Woods, JPEG. Oh my gosh, JPEG collab would be crazy. Yeah, but my goal, my one of my biggest goals is just one day have like a production credit on like a Kendrick album. That's
Yeah,
my yeah, and it will happen.
that'll
It will happen
happen for sure. For
for
sure, we'll
sure.
make it happen.
Exactly.
I'll make some connections.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
give some calls.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
just like I have Kendrick Lamar like literally like here next week, and it's just like,
Yeah,
how the fuck did this guy,
I know.
this random guy from
Yeah,
Iowa get freaking Kendrick Lamar? It's like,
yeah.
dude, I just asked. And he was like,
Look,
all
look.
right.
If you asked me just to say like just go like this on a song, I would do it.
I think
Anything. Like,
actually no, I think it was like Mr. Beast did like a promo for I don't know which rapper it was, but they
hmm,
made a song and all he did was like this or like
yeah,
a tiny bit. It literally made no
yeah.
difference.
Hey, I mean, I would do it for free. You know, like
I
the goat.
just
You
want the
know.
cred.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
the
Like,
tiny sliver at the end of the
yeah.
credit for sure. Uh, so for you, because you make so much experimental music, what is the most difficult part of making that experimental music?
Um, I think also the most difficult part is, hmm, I will say when you're trying to be weird, like when you're trying to force it, it comes off of just like clicking random buttons and just making crap. Because there's a difference between making crap and being experimental. Like,
Mhm.
you can't just throw paint at the wall and be like, yeah, this is art. Like it has to mean something in a way. And I guess, when I'm trying to do something that's like left field, say I make a song that's like not weird, because I make non-weird songs too.
Mhm.
And I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna make the weirdest song now because I just made the most normal song I could. And then when I force that weirdness, it sounds like I'm forcing it. Like it has to just come out naturally. Like, like when it's forced, people can hear it. It's obvious. It's just you're trying too hard, You don't want to try too hard to be weird. You just want to be weird. So yeah.
For me, I just be weird every day. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Same here. Same here.
for sure. If you could play at any venue, where would it be?
Uh shit. Well, that's a good question. Man, I'm trying to think. Hmm. Uh, I will say like I would want to perform at like the most unexpected places, like maybe at
Um,
like a Burger King. Or like a I don't know, like
the
a
fuck is up, Denny's?
yeah, or like a flea market. I don't know. I would want to perform somewhere that's like really random, you know. That's why I
Yeah,
had live at Toys R Us because honestly,
I
I would
want to
love
perform
to
at
perform
Toys
at
R Us.
Toys R Us. Like I want to like perform that whole album at a Toys R Us. Like get a band, get the permission, of course. That's
Hmm.
gonna be hard to get,
At a
obviously.
Toys R
And
Us, yes.
yeah, I mean they're owned by Macy's now, so they're at Macy's. So you have to go to like a mall or something like that, and plug in the amps, play, and that's a goal. Like I would love that, but I don't think anyone's gonna let.
I thought your answer was gonna be like Lollapalooza.
No, I would want to perform random. Like that's basic. Being like, oh yeah, I want to
Top of the
perform
Empire
at,
State Building or something.
Coachella. Like no, perform at a Burger King or what?
Burger
Come
King.
on.
I will be at that Burger King.
Yes, yeah,
Or
that would
White
be
Castle. I don't know if you have what I
yeah.
don't have it over here. I think it's around
No,
your
we don't have
location.
White Castle over here. It's more New Jersey. I see
Oh,
that in
that
Jersey.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
I was thinking like the most like generic venue
yeah,
possible. Like Burger King. Burger
yeah,
King's the best answer there.
yeah,
But
yeah. That would be so cool. Like I would love to perform that at that place. So.
I would just love to like I kind of want you to just blow up and then like you would perform at your normal concerts, whatever, and
Hmm.
then just randomly go into a Burger King.
Yes. Awesome. Oh my gosh. And Andre 3000, one of my all-time favorite artists, he said in an interview that he wants to perform at like flea markets and stuff. And he made the song Hey and Miss
Oh,
Jackson.
yeah,
And I'm like, good for him. I would do the same thing. Like, come
for
on.
sure.
Like I would, yeah.
I know artists like not all the time, but like if they're on tour and they find time and a venue invites them, like something smaller, like a bar or
Mm.
wherever, and they're just happen to be there, I know they sometimes takes that. Like I think it was yeah, like Ginger Root right before their tour, which they're on now, they went to a random venue in LA because they were already there and they had an extra day and they were like, okay, yeah, sure. And it was
Mm.
just a back patio of a bar, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, I mean, I'm actually trying to, as I said, my friend Tammy, I'm trying to get him performing at some gigs. And that you would see me at. I'll be playing bass, that's my
that'd be
instrument.
cool.
So I don't know how I would perform my own songs because they're beats, maybe just DJ them, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to DJ. So I would have to learn that, you know.
I'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Just figure it
Sure.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have some of these moments too. What is the strangest or funniest thing that happened while recording?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I'll say when um you add something like really bad in it and it's like you think it's good, say it's like you talking or something,
Mhm.
and then you listen back and it sounds like total shit. It's like, what was I thinking? Like, I know I said that before, but I think, as I said, like, I don't really write these songs down. I just like add, like on the spot. So, I can make mistakes anytime. So obviously,
Mhm.
those mistakes pop up and appear, and sometimes I'll really like it and it'll be like happy mistakes. Sometimes I would hate it and delete it, but it
No.
depends. I don't know. Um, I can't really think if there's any other funny things really because I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
for
we're gonna say.
oh, I was just gonna say I have a couple moments I would share, but if you have anything else.
Well, yes, I would love to hear those, but I just remembered because they don't really happen when it's just me working by myself because like it's just me doing it. But when I'm working with other people, like I've worked with a rapper over the years named Osage, and I remember I was at his house and we were recording the song Rebirth, and we had Osage, we had J Money, we had Lil Sliz, we had all of them in a room, and we were recording in his bedroom, and I remember Osage kept messing up, and I said redo it, redo it, redo it. And he's like, I can't take it. And he like punched the wall. I was like, oh, I was like, chill. I was like, relax, man. Like, I just wanted to sound good. That's all.
Yeah.
And it was just so like random. It was kind of funny looking back. But
Yeah,
I
I've
want to
had,
hear.
like I've had, so when I was trying to start my own band before starting all this documentary stuff, I was trying to make some kind of career. So I usually, I don't play any instruments, but I do sing and create lyrics. And I was working with like this mic was scuffed. It was like actually destroyed.
Mm,
And I was like record. I spent like over 7 hours a day just recording the exact same lines over and over, hitting a note. And then I would be doing the dumbest things possible. I would be sounding like Elvis one moment, and then I'll be like the highest screeching voice possible. And then it was just all over the place. And then I'd be like, God damn it. I'm like, this is nothing
yeah.
like I want it to sound like. This is not what's in here. Like, I have a vision for it, but I can never actually get it.
Mm, I know. That happens all the time. Um, I'm a perfectionist myself, so I make
Yeah.
sure everything's perfect. And sometimes it's like, what is perfect? Because
Hmm.
what's perfect to me can sound bad to someone else. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I sometimes it gets in the way of my artistic, I guess creation. Because if something, you know, I'll be working on something for like a month or two, and a lot of people are like some of my friends are telling me like, hey, you gotta drop it. Like it sounds good, but to me, it's like, oh, but there's this one part or there's
Hmm.
this part that's holding it back. And sometimes I just gotta like tell myself just shut up. It's good.
Just
Or
fuck
something.
it, send it,
Yeah,
see what
you know,
happens.
exactly.
Yeah. So, how do you like unwind or relax when you're not working on music? What's your go-to?
I watch a lot of movies.
Okay.
I'm a big film buff, so
Yeah.
I either watch a movie or I hang out with friends, or I listen to music too.
Hmm.
Like I listen to something new every day. I try to listen to like a new album that I never heard of every day. You know, Also to give me like inspiration for my own work too. But
Yeah.
um, that's what I do. I do a lot of stuff outside of making music, but I always give myself time to chill from it if I need to.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like recently, speaking of film buff, I was going to see yesterday after work for like a reward because it was my birthday yesterday. So I was like gonna see the new Joker film.
Yeah, I heard
And
about
then I
that.
heard it was a musical, and then all these reviews came out, and it was terrible. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna watch
I
this.
saw the reviews. I was like, I have a
No,
letterbox, so
yeah.
I've seen all of it. I'm like,
Mm.
dang,
No,
they
I
really.
was so disappointed because I was so excited for the film.
Yeah, I'm
The
actually gonna
first one
see
was so
it.
good.
I'm gonna try to see it this Sunday. I'm curious. I want to see.
Okay,
I want to see for myself how the movie is.
okay, that's fair. But
Yeah.
like when I heard it's a musical, I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
why?
I was the same way. I was like,
Who
really?
thought that was a good idea? It's a
Yeah.
Joker film, not a musical.
Well, I wasn't really a big fan of the first one, but I still like
Oh,
appreciate it for what it was, you know?
I thought it
Um,
was a cinematic masterpiece.
yeah. It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's
You
well
could see a lot of reviews that would make it a lot better. Like
yeah.
on YouTube, you could like literally take one scene and they'll talk about it for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Like it's not a bad movie, you know,
Yeah,
but it's just I don't
yeah.
know.
I was disappointed to hear because I was super excited because, like I said, there was a bunch of memes at the time when that first one came out, the staircase scene,
No.
the mirror scene, the you get what you deserve. But another movie that I actually just recently watched because I was bored was La La Land. And I'm not a big
Oh
musical
yeah.
guy. I don't like musicals, but I really enjoyed that one. I was hooked on the first song and I'm gonna put this in the background and watch it. And
Mm.
um then the first song came on. I'm like, this is actually really good. This
Yeah.
is actually really,
That's
really
that's a good
good.
movie. Yeah. That's a
And
good
then
movie.
so then I started watching the rest of it. It was a pretty solid movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's directed by the guy who did Whiplash, if I'm right.
Yeah, God,
That,
Whiplash.
that's a really good movie.
That's like
E- Every jazz kid I know who's in
mhm.
jazz bands, that's their
Yep.
favorite.
Yep.
Every
Yep.
band kid, you know.
It's so interesting because I love jazz and hate it at the same time. So I hate freestyle jazz. I think it's terrible. When I hear like the jazz band in the bar and they're freaking tapping everything, I understand it's supposed to be like, a story or telling and all that stuff. But I'm like, bro, you could just use all the instruments to like actually put it all together and make a masterpiece. You know that, right?
Yeah. I I like some of jazz. I'm not a big jazz guy, but I like a few of it, you know.
Yeah. I just think all the instruments that are used in jazz, if it's put together into like an actual song that's, catchy and rhythmic, which is
Mm.
basically swing, or electro swing, which makes it even better and more modern, um, that is where it's peak. Because you get all of the modern stuff, you get whatever you want,
Mm.
whatever you like, and
Mm.
but you get so much more added onto it because there's a trumpet, there's a sax, there's
Yeah.
it makes it sound so much better.
Have you heard Herbie Hancock?
I don't think I have.
He's he's really good. He makes like funk type of jazz. It's like jazz fusion. That's what they
Yeah,
call it.
but that's like what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh he's really good. He's probably like him and Kamasi Washington are probably my favorite. But Herbie Hancock makes like really funky jazz. If you listen to Headhunters, that's a great album. So throwing that out there. You should check
Yeah,
it out
just
for sure.
Googled it. I think he made Chameleon Symphony
Mm.
number 35. I thought it
Watermelon
was
Man.
you.
That
Yeah,
song.
I think I know some of this, at least Chameleon. Maybe not. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'll go check him out for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, I got my first ever interview somehow was probably, in my opinion, the best violinist in the world. And that was
Oh, I
Hugh
saw some of
Payon.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. I'm not like I don't listen to swing music. Like I'm not very
That's
like
fine.
I don't really know much of it. But I saw some of that interview and it was very interesting. And I watched a little bit of that documentary you made on it.
Yeah.
I had no idea about
Crazy lore. Crazy lore.
this. Crazy.
Crazy. Like all the way to back in '05. They basically made an entire genre of music
Wow.
out of nothing. They
That's
they
crazy.
they were originally going to make like because it was France. Their first ever thing was a porno, and that no one's ever found ever. It was completely scrapped. But
Mhm.
they were going to make, it's called jazz manouche, and but it's gypsy swing. So it's a swing music but gypsy. But then they were playing it and they were like, it's okay, but they wanted to add more like Daft Punk, and then
Yeah.
they added more electro parts to it, and then that's where electro swing got invented, basically, all the way back in 2008.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. And then since they were the first ones, they completely dominated the market. And then they had some amazing songs like Susie. Susie has a crazy, insane violin solo, which is what he did. He made that violin solo.
Mhm.
Um, but I'll send you a link and you can kind of tell what the theme is. And then I just kind of like that area of the 1920s and the bars and the
Yeah.
parties and
Yeah.
the hats.
Yeah, the outfits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Do I have more questions? Oh, what what what's a song or album you wish you'd written?
Uh
You just pick one.
I think the White Album. I wish I made that.
Yeah,
I wish I made that record.
yeah.
That's such Arc Android, Janelle Monáe. I changed that.
Arcandroid? Okay.
Yeah. Actually both. I don't know. Can I pick
Yeah, pick both. Sure, why not?
yeah, I wish I made those two albums.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's all I got for you. I don't know. Do you want to like add anything more or just talk
Yes, I
about other
do
things?
have a couple of things. So yeah, I have a new album on the way. It's gonna be out soon. I'm still working on it. And check out the new record on my channel. And yeah, uh, check me out, Purple Underground for sure. So
All right. Well, thanks you for taking some time out of your day to answer some questions. I
yeah, of
appreciate
course,
it.
of
Yeah.
course. It's great talking to you.
Yeah, I'll see you around.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, see
Peace.
you.